What's up, y'all? It's Jada and I'm back with another YouTube video. So before I even get started, I just want to say thank y'all so much. Give yourself a round of applause, okay? Because y'all really came through. I just reached 11,000 views on my first YouTube tutorial. So thank y'all for the support. Thank you for watching. You know, keep sharing it with your friends, all of that good stuff. But for real, I really appreciate it, y'all. So today's video is actually going to be my first Q&A. I haven't really done one of those ever, not on Instagram or really just nowhere at all. So this will be my first time doing a Q&A. But if you don't follow me on Instagram, basically I posted my most recent photo shoot on Instagram, and I posted some behind the scenes videos, and you know, I let my followers know if y'all have any questions about how this shoot came about or how I made any of the pieces, then just let me know and I'll answer them. So yeah, but that's what I'm going to do now. So I only got about 5 questions, but that's okay because I'm about to answer these 5 questions to the best of my ability, and that's just that on that. But I'm really excited. If you haven't seen the shoot yet, I'm excited for y'all to see it. I'm about to play a video on the screen. Well, I'm about to play the B.T.S video, and I'm also about to put the pictures up on the screen just so y'all can see everything before we get into the questions. And shoot, if y'all have any more questions once it's done, then just comment them below and I'll try my hardest to answer. And also, I am going to be giving y'all a sneak peek. If you stay to the end of the video, I'll be giving a sneak peek of my next photo shoot that's about to be happening really soon. And yeah, that's going to be amazing too. So yeah, stay to the end and let's get started. So let's get into these questions. I hope y'all love the shoot and the pictures and the videos just as much as I did. But our first question is, how did I do, or I'm gonna say we because I had a whole team who helped me with this shoot, but how did we do the hair for the shoot and what was the inspiration? So as you can see right here, let me step over a little bit. Okay, so as you can see in the shoot, you know, we had this triangle afro going on, and I absolutely love that. So that the inspiration behind that, well, for one, me and the photographer Devon Coleman, that's his Instagram, but me and the photographer, we really were on the same page as far as like keeping this this theme of shapes and unique angles continue throughout the shoot. So that's why, well, he said he wanted to do something cool with the afro, and I had sent him the triangle inspiration. I saw some images on Google, and I was like, okay, this is perfect. This is what I want. So I showed him the inspiration for what I thought would work, and he was like, oh my God, like I was thinking the same thing. So I was like, perfect, we on the same page. So I just really wanted to play with that and keep that going on in this shoot. Like, come on now, you got these strong shoulders. I just felt like having that angle in the hair was just, it would be perfect, you know. And it was like, I absolutely loved it so much. So yeah, now the other thing about this afro, I haven't said how we did it, but basically we bought a cute little afro, you know, from the beauty supply, good old beauty supply. And then she put that on. But then what Devontae did, you know, with his amazing editing skills, he actually edited her afro into this triangle shape, which I think is so cool. So yeah, that is how we did the afro and our inspiration behind it. Okay, so question number 2 is, how long did the jacket take to make, or really like the entire outfit? So the jacket actually was already made way before I even knew I was doing a photo shoot for it. Now, I'm going to tell y'all a quick little story time. So basically, this jacket, I thought it was about to be on P Valley. That's what I was told. But turns out, or actually, I'm not even going to say that. I thought it was for Uncle Cliff on P Valley, and turns out it wasn't. So I had made that jacket and it ended up being used for something else. But I felt like how it was styled, it really didn't go with my brand, you know, like it wasn't how I would have displayed the jacket. So I was just like, okay, well, I'm about to do a shoot and I'm about to just showcase this like art. Like, I envision the things I create as art. So I want this to be showcased like art. So I was like, well, let me make a outfit to go with this. This was like maybe 2 weeks later though, after the stylist had already used it and stuff. So I was like, okay, let me put together a shoot that goes with this. And so I put together a design. Now, my original inspiration for the rest of the garment was this right here. It's this Mugler dress. Mugler. Okay, it's one of those. But yeah, that's what I was inspired by. And so originally I did want to kind of exaggerate the fit by doing this really tiny waist, and then, you know, making the hips look super curvy. But I didn't have all of my stuff with me when I was in Houston when I did the shoot. I live in Atlanta, so I didn't have everything I needed with me I felt like to be able to do this how I envisioned. And also I was just pressed for time because I wasn't trying to spend a whole lot of time while I'm, you know, at home for the holidays with my family, just sewing, you know. So I was like, okay, let me do something that's going to be beautiful and quick. So I feel like I didn't answer the part about the jacket, but the jacket took me, I want to say 2 days straight, and y'all, I did not go to sleep at all. Like, I stayed up 2 days straight working on that jacket because I was thinking, you know, the stylist told me the deadline was basically in a few days. They needed it for a shoot. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm not going to sleep. So I stayed up for 2 days and the jacket was done. And then the rest of the outfit, I want to say once I got to Houston and I started working on that also took about 2 days too. So yeah, the whole look took me about 4 days to make. But yeah, the inspiration for the silhouette of the dress, or really not the dress, the two-piece underneath the jacket, that was really, it started with Mugler, and then I kind of just veered off and just was like, okay, let me do something that's gonna just fit the body right. So we did the pointed corset because I wanted to still keep that shape, even though my point is a little rounded, that's okay. But I did the corset, and then of course this simple fitted skirt. And, you know, I had to do the all white just to make everything tie together. But yeah, so that is how I came up with the look. And that's how long it took. All right, so our next question is, did I alter the pattern to create the shoulder design, or did I just add shoulder pads? So when I created this, I wish I would have recorded the process, but if y'all do want me to do an actual tutorial on how I made this jacket pattern, then just comment below and I'll definitely be able to do it because it didn't take that long. It was actually really easy. But I went and bought, so since I thought this jacket was going to be for a man, I went and bought a men's blazer pattern, but I completely altered it. Like, I turned it into a completely different thing. Like, I really didn't keep any of the pieces the same from the pattern, except for I Well, even the sleeve pattern got changed, so never mind. I really changed everything though, but I can't find the pattern that I bought, but I'll put it right here just so y'all can see. So this is the pattern that I got, and then I basically sewed up the pattern like normally, and then I really just started cutting away, making the changes that I wanted to make. And then once it got to the shoulder part, I had to extend this whole area. So I used, and I'll have a question about the shoulder pads later, so I'll show y'all that. But I really stacked shoulder pads on top of each other, and then I took my muslin and then I draped that over the shoulder, and then I hand sewed it in place, and then I did a whole lot of other stuff. But yeah, basically once I made the regular mock-up, the regular blazer mock-up, I stacked the shoulder pads on top and draped some muslin over that. I hand sewed it to the jacket, and then I like cut the excess fabric off. And then with the sleeves, so at that point you have this big gap, and then you have the sleeve starting right here. So what I had to do was also drape some fabric right here that extends the sleeve upwards. And then when I did that, I want to say I hand sewed that in place right here. I hand sewed the muslin at the top of the sleeve and then cut off the excess at the bottom, and then kind of just cut out a shape to fit that new curve at the top. And honestly, once I made the modifications to the pattern, it fit perfect. Another thing I changed, the pattern has like these angles in it that go in this V shape at the front and the back, so I had to cut that at an angle because there aren't any like angles cut or anything like that in the original pattern. So I cut that at an angle, and then I also did the same with the back. As you can see, like there's a V in the back. But yeah, so I hope that answered everything about your questions dealing with the shoulder pads. All right, so the next question I have again is about the shoulder pads, but they asked, what type of shoulder pads did I use to make this? So here is the actual jacket. I know the inside look all dirty, but the person who wore this originally, they had on a lot of body makeup. But as you can see, I'll really just tack these in place. But I have two sets of thick shoulder pads, you know, on both sides, and I really love the height that this adds. Like, I feel like this adds at least about a good 3 inches to the shoulder. So this is the type of shoulder pads that I use, and yeah, I just tack those in place nice and easy. You can get those. I'm gonna plug where I got these from. You can actually get these shoulder pads from Rico. He has a fabric store in Atlanta. So this is his fabric store. I'm gonna tag his Instagram and all of that. But that's his fabric store, and the shoulder pads are $12 a set. If you're looking for the exact place to get these and you need some ASAP, I would definitely say hit up Rico in Atlanta, and I'm sure he can help you out. All right, y'all. So our last question, I believe, is that the last question? Yes. Okay. So our last question is, how did I get the crystals onto the jacket? So this is the crystal netting. I got this from Fine Fabrics. I want to say it's, I don't know, $12.99 a yard. But yeah, I got this from Fine Fabrics, and basically when you first get it, it comes like this. It's really thin, and so what I had to do was first really kind of break the mesh apart, almost like all of the little crystals, or for a good majority of the crystals, are stuck together like this. So what I had to do was really just separate it and then pull them apart. And then I use E6000. Y'all, E6000 is like the best thing ever, but I use E6000 to actually glue not each crystal, but like a good 90% of them onto the jacket, so that way they would stay in place, because I wasn't about to try and figure some way to hand sew this. That would have been doing a lot. But yeah, so, and E6000 is great for, you know, using with different types of sewing projects and things like that. It's very strong, very reliable. And then I'm about to change the angle of the camera just so y'all can get an idea of how I actually did this. All right, y'all, so as you can see, we have, this is just some fabric I had laying around, but all I did to get these crystals on was I first laid the mesh on top of the fabric, and then I spread it out. It's kind of hard to get this to stay in place, I'm not gonna lie. So, oh, another thing I almost forgot. I used like fabric weights and cans and different things like that to hold the mesh down, because I had to get the right size of this, or not the right size, I had to get this spread out to the correct width first. So once I did that, and then I had my cans and fabric weights in place, then I went and I took my scissors and I cut out the shape of the fabric. I cut out the crystal mesh and I just followed the edge of the fabric, and then I really actually probably went 1 or 2 crystals over, but yeah, I followed the edge of the fabric until I had a full piece. And then after that, what I had to do was, you start with the outside edges. You want to start by gluing one side, one edge completely, and then you want to just put a tiny dab of glue on the back of each crystal. And then as you get that one edge glued down, then you can start moving over to the next few rows. And then once you have a few rows done, then you can come over to the bottom and do the other sides. But yeah, it's really easy to do. But the main thing you want to make sure you don't do is put too much glue on the back of this crystal, because you don't want that to show and it look like, you know, you're doing a little art project or something. So what I like to use is just little pins or something that's small, but I'll use my sewing pins actually, and then I'll apply the glue on, say, a paper plate or something, and then I just take the pin and then dab the pin into the glue and then put that on the back of the crystal and then glue that down. So yeah, that is how this crystal look on the sleeves came about. All right, y'all. Y'all like the jacket? I know I've been real extra right now, but we at the end of the video, so I feel like, you know, why not close out with the jacket on, you know? But yeah, so anyways, we wrapping up. Now, I added my own question on there just to ask myself. But really just to conclude the video. So my question to myself is, what was my biggest takeaway from doing this shoot? Well, that's a good question. Okay, so, but for real, my biggest takeaway from this shoot was like it was a lot of motivation. 2020, I did not create a lot, but intentionally, I didn't create a lot. I spent that whole year just working on my craft. And so to be able to do this shoot, and for it to turn out so beautifully, I used to like doubt myself a lot, y'all. So I used to feel like I wasn't able to create these couture level things. So to be able to create this shoot and it turned out as beautifully as it did, and even I'll say while creating this jacket, like I feel like I started getting to a point to where I started thinking about I feel like I started getting to a point where I started thinking I couldn't do things, in a small or quick time frame and different things like that. But even just seeing how I made this jacket in 2 days, you know, it's like, okay, like this shoot really just showed me I'm able. It showed me, all right, Jada, you are able to create these couture things. You're able to do these couture shoots. You're able to do it on a like with a small time frame. Like it just showed me like I'm able, and so it really motivated me and encouraged me to just keep this momentum up. So that's why I'm really just excited to do my next shoot and just even being consistent with my creating throughout the rest of the year. I just like moving my arms so much with these, but let me not get sidetracked. But yeah, so I really feel like that was my biggest takeaway from this shoot. And of course, I have to thank God for helping me get through this, just because God is the source of my creativity. God is the source of just everything I'm able to do. So without God, honestly, none of that would have been possible. Even me getting through dealing with this jacket and going off of sleep, no sleep for 2 days, wouldn't have happened without God. But yeah, so we are at the end of the video. Now, if you want to see the extended version of the B.T.S, the behind the scenes, I'm going to post that. If it's not posted already, then it should be posted very, very soon, like literally within a couple of hours of this video being posted. But yeah, so you can go check out the behind the scenes video if you just want to see more of how the shoot went. And if you want a closer look at the pictures, just go to my Instagram, and then make sure you follow all the wonderful talent that participated in this shoot, and I will leave their Instagram names below. But we have Devontae as our photographer, we have Jaia as our MUA, and then we have Deja as our wonderful model. But I told y'all I would have a sneak peek if you stay to the end. So I'm about to show y'all a quick little sum of my inspiration for my next shoot, and I'm gonna close out with that. But thank you for watching, and I will see y'all in my next video.